you know, it just starts happening. And then all of a sudden you've signed a fucking lease and you're like, oh shit,
That happens quick.
that was a dick move.
Yeah, so the world's shut down, there's no international travel, but nothing's going to stop you guys opening another branch in fucking 15 hours away. Good on you, man.
Yeah.
That's
That's
fucking
fucking
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
well, like in that sense of that agenda, I think we all of us like to some degree. Like I've had one business, well, two, sold one. You guys have got multiple. Blinky, you're the similar view as well. I think we can all unilaterally appreciate these stresses. But that entire time, even as long as I've known him, I didn't know so much of the nuance to that sort of thing. And I'm still getting excited as I was saying, man. That's insane.
Such a cool
Absolutely great story.
Here's the other kicker. And then there's Hey Caddy in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Hey, Caddy.
Fucking
that-
crazy motherfucker.
That's
yeah,
about how
so
that
that's
happened.
another
Okay,
story.
is that
How about guys-
is that
yeah.
a piss break?
Let's have a break and
Alright.
then let's
Piss
get
break.
stuck into Hey Caddy.
Alright, deal.
So
Alright, we're back at it.
we're still on recording,
Oh,
which is good, but
My Nevin Sonnies.
what did you say?
My Nevin son.
I'm just trying to shout out our fucking sponsors and partners, mate.
Oh, I thought no. Sorry, I thought it was just another insult. No,
Oh my God, I think I dropped it on my sporting event.
So we went on at the daily quota. Shit on Stewie.
Alright, so we've all had a pit stop. Blows ready.
Get everyone red.
No more than 2 shakes because that's a pull.
I had a pull.
Fuck yeah.
Just one.
Like technically. I can't.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about technicalities, yeah.
No, you went on that, mate, 100%. So
Alright.
look, before we sort of just took a break, I'm hearing Blinky's incredible tale, and my cousin James, I think, worked in Warner Brothers up until probably a week ago or a couple of weeks ago. I could have pitched that whole fucking story, to be honest. So I just struck with my cousin in Warner Brothers. But the other thing is what we segued into is the masochist himself, Blinky, then, and I'll preface it, Hey Caddy, I used to hear the term a lot when you were still in Anogra. And Hey Caddy, I couldn't figure it out. I'm going, Hey Caddy, Hey Caddy, Hey Caddy. And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
I think it's German.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah,
I think it's German for more beer.
Das ist gut, ja.
yes, ich bin Blinky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, what I learned and discovered was, is you provide, and correct me if I'm wrong, we'll get you to provide the brief, but from my basic knowledge is that you provide either custom designed or a patented style of indoor putt-putt things attached to existing spaces. Is that correct?
Yeah, to a degree.
Yeah.
Yep.
So can you give us an overview? of
What's the elevator pitch of
All right,
Hey Caddy
so-
is for our listeners who aren't familiar with it?
Mm.
So do you want me to start there or start about the business itself?
You start
Or how we got to it?
You start with
Well,
the
just
fuck
tell
you
everyone.
So, like,
For anybody
okay,
who hasn't
yeah,
heard
okay,
what
yeah.
Hey Caddy is,
Yeah, what is it?
what is Hey Caddy?
So Hey Caddy is an entertainment style mini
I don't want your life
golf
story,
course.
mate.
And Rob's muted.
So yeah, it's an entertainment style mini golf course to sit alongside the X Golf brand, and I mean a lot of that is to broaden the demographic, right? And not that it was ever our intention, but X Golf venues, and especially in the early days, I think marketing just helped now bring more females into it, but it was 90% males.
So it wasn't, to clarify as well, this wasn't an existing franchise or anything like
No.
X Golf or
Yeah, good question.
anything. This was something you guys came up with.
Yeah, so-
was this done over a frothy or two as well
In Germany.
in Germany? Amsterdam is fine.
Alright.
No, we didn't have time to go.
Yeah, well, 2 businesses deep and 3 kids. I don't blame you, mate. So-
Well, so this all happened in between Anoga and Townsville.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I mean,
Great.
there was a busy little period there, to be fair.
And this is during
Are you
COVID
sure
too.
you don't have ADHD?
No one of you are all
I'm not
friends
sure.
here, right?
So
There's a type. There's a reason we all get along.
so let me start. Okay, so we opened Anoga. We had a mezzanine put in. We had a boardroom up there. We're like, we're 6K from the city. People are going to use this boardroom. Like, what a fucking good idea. We've got businesses around, you know, they can come down and have their meeting, they can play golf. And what ended up happening is we had 115 metres of unused space.
We used it for LFG.
Yeah. Blinky.
Mind you, I've used it plenty of times, but
Not as intended.
Yeah. Not as in a paid sense.
Sign up for
So
Patreon for
Yeah.
I thought the poles in the
Lovely
middle
forward.
was weird. Yeah, big poles to the roof, like that was weird.
Yeah,
I don't.
but the layout,
I
like,
don't
like the glass walls on it, like it looked.
Yeah, like we put
Look great.
as much effort as we could to it that time.
Yeah.
We're like, we just need to make this a good little space, which didn't get used, which is completely fine. So for us at this point, we've got a heavily one-sided demographic, and we've got area upstairs that's not being used. So we need to think about what we can do to try and utilize this space to generate income, to also that can have secondary and third effects, as in broadening demographic and doing something different. So golf, obviously, with the Sims. We can't do like a full putting green, because the issue with that is people are gonna have to walk upstairs to practice their putting. It's not gonna get the boardroom will get used more. Well, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And if the bar guys have done their job properly, they shouldn't be going upstairs anyway, right?
So we're
Not safe, workplace health and safety.
So we're looking at this thing and going, what up? We're first and foremost, we're a golf venue, but we're also an entertainment venue.
Yeah.
So how can we amalgamate those two things? And obviously, looking at the market and the things that are happening in the mini golf at that point in time, things are starting to pick up, and we're like, well, we can design golf holes on a reasonably like an entertainment style golf hole on a small footprint.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we've only got 100 meters, we might be able to do 9 holes. In hindsight, I'm glad we never did it there, like 100%.
Oh, so the idea was to go upstairs, was it?
That's where
Right.
that's where it started. We're
Yeah,
like,
okay.
we just want to do something upstairs,
Yeah.
and it would never, it
Would never work.
it would not have worked.
Yeah.
The only thing that would work is what we end up doing, which was an extra sim.
Yeah.
But that's where the idea came to
Right.
in like to fruition, right? So then we're like, okay, so what do we do? Who builds these fucking things? Like, who builds, your holy moly style venues?
Yeah.
And we went around a bit, and turns out Tony Lee, he does a lot of work for Iceworks Design, which are set design companies. They do theatre shows, they do, productions, they do activations in casinos, fucking all this shit, right? So we were like, all right, cool, let's go have a yarn. Let's talk about doing this specifically here. Once we had a chat, got on with the managing director of X Golf and said, look, this is something that we want to do in this venue to try and achieve all these things that we want to achieve for this venue specifically. And that conversation went on, and it started to get
Get some traction.
And so I went from being upstairs there to like, all right, develop 18 holes. Like we did pitch decks, branding, like not branding Hey Caddy, because we don't own Hey Caddy, we own the IP for the holes
Okay.
and the interiors. So we developed this and worked in conjunction with them to launch this new business.
So did X Golf come up with the Hey Caddy thing? So they own the
They
trademark
own
to
it.
that?
They own it. We had like insane amount of Friday afternoon meetings that went for 4 hours trying to come up with a name for this thing that we'd been working on developing.
What? X-Putt didn't work?
Yeah.
It's a bit shit.
Yeah, right.
Get in the hole.
How did that birth of the name come in? Like, hey, caddy, get my putter. Like what?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing when I thought about like caddy, I just didn't think like CADDY. I was like,
Yeah.
maybe it's like a weird word put in one. I didn't know it was 2 words without hyphenation.
So it's quite funny because I think we had about a 4 or 5 hour meeting. Matty and I think their operations manager at the time, the marketing person, and the managing director, for like 4 or 5 hours we're in this meeting, and we're like, we are not coming out of this without a name.
Yeah.
So we ended up deciding on the name, which I can't remember what it fucking was. And then next week they're like, no, we're just gonna call it this, and we're like,
You fucking dogs.
I'm glad I
You
spent
wa-
5 hours in that
you
fucking
waste,
meeting.
and Friday meetings can get fucked, like
Yeah.
full stop.
Yeah, Microsoft Teams. is
Unless they're a long lunch that carries on. You know.
Yeah, so, and we went on our merry way of developing holes, pitching them back to head office, making changes, creating our portfolio of work.
So you and Matty designed all the 18 holes, but because the same theme everywhere you go.
So the loose theme is locations around the world.
Yep.
And also different art styles or interpretations
Like the New York,
of
the Brooklyn, New York.
I
those
think
holes.
personally
Yeah.
I've seen South Bank and,
Yeah.
and Marion in South Australia, and
Yeah.
then obviously I saw a couple of holes of it.
So, Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of challenges, right? So the first challenge before you even talking about putting any kind of theme, any kind of anything to a hole, is how can we build X amount of shapes that can fit in, whether it be 200 meters, 300 meters, of whatever amount of space, right? So what we came up with was 6 different shapes, like a Tetris.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So we had some that were 3,600 by 3 meters. We had our smallest holes 1,200 by 2,400. We've got some L shapes. So everything that we did from that point on was then we chose the shape of the hole that would suit best, and obviously how that would be used.
I'm still a bit blown away by this and in awe, really, because it's so you had no shop fitting experience, like just design. That's like
So
me going, I'm gonna design the best cabin cockpit for a plane.
Like for me,
it blows me away.
I tried,
For you
So-
to design.
I tried
these
to
Yeah.
make
holes,
hollandaise
that's
so
incredible.
Bobby, I
Like-
tried to make hollandaise sauce the other week, and I tried.
you split the butter.
And I tasted it, and I was like,
You whipped it too much.
I was like, that does not taste like hollandaise sauce.
So
So
Luba was like, no, baby.
because Mika, her son, like went to South Bank and played it. Absolutely loved it. Like he loves the Sims, but he played the putt as well. And he got to that last hole.
Yeah, it's a
That-
job.
Oh, that's a
It's
fuck.
fucking
Yeah.
frick that hole. And he
On the
goes,
bridge. Yeah.
and he goes, hey Dave, I don't know your friend, but can you tell him to change the last hole?
Sweet little Russian boys like, I don't know your
It's, I was like, I think
Tell him to go fuck himself.
yeah, such a
You'll be at the bottom of the river next week.
Yeah, I think at the moment, mate, with you don't have a lot of pull here, to be honest.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a whole design. Where did this?
Yeah, so okay, so the caveat to that is we engage a set design company.
Okay.
So they've got a design team because they've got to design sets, and they've all.
So did you and Matty have contacts for a set design company? Is this something you just Googled?
It was through
Like-
a mutual friend how
Gotcha.
we landed with a set design company.
Gotcha.
And they kind of like it allowed that we could have a design team for it to
Yep.
design it, and then we could have a construction team to build it.
Ah,
Right. So we worked with them to bring the ideas to life.
That's cool.
But the tricky, because set design's expensive, design is
I
expensive,
would imagine.
right? So the tricky thing was we didn't have a $1 million budget to be able to execute these things on. Because if at that point you can do some amazing shit, so we had to try and like work out how we can get this to market at a price
Hang
that
on,
can
this
be
is
swallowed. You
Early
know?
days, is this all self-funded too?
Yeah.
Wow.
That takes it to another level.
That takes some balls, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, right. Okay, so Enogra, Hey Caddy, Conception, Townsville.
Yeah.
And then we're here now.
Mm.
What's going on? You've obviously got Townsville and you're entrenched in the Hey Caddy thing. Enogra. So we know that it's obviously being transferred or sold on to some great people,
Yep.
Greenie and Rob, who are good. They're good people in the community before.
Yep.
Obviously selling to and lots of stuff. Talk about that.
Yeah,
Like,
like,
you obviously, you've obviously
what was the I guess what was the impetus to sort of go, okay,
time to get
we've
out.
got to, we went
Yeah.
through the hard yards, like, so what was the impetus behind that decision?
So yeah, you had your business plan. We're going to open multiple.
Yeah.
You've done
yeah.
that, and then
So I guess from COVID onwards, I mean, if we look at the timeline over the things that had happened in that period of time, right, over that 2 or 3 year period, we just didn't have